Hi, everybody. So I'm glad you could join my recording today. I had a little bit of trouble with Facebook Live, so I thought I would jump on Zoom and record this for you so you've got a copy that you can refer back to at any time. So part of the summer series is that each of our leaders are jumping on each week with a different topic for you. And my topic that I really wanted to talk about was cooking with essential oils and superfoods. And it seems to be my thing. That's what I really enjoy talking about is superfoods and also using essential oils for cooking. So today I wanted to talk about how I use essential oils in cooking. So some of you have met me before and there's others who I've not met. So the ones I've not met, my name is Pete. I am the founder of Nourish by Pete, and I've been living in Hanoi for the last 18 years. And during that time, I've had a few different businesses that I've owned and been running. And currently I have an organic farm with an organic retreat in northern Vietnam, as well as two restaurants, organic restaurants in Hanoi. And so in those restaurants, I actually have transferred all of the use of fresh herbs over to doTERRA essential oils. So today I wanted to talk about how I use the oils personally in my own life, as well as how I use them in my restaurants as well. And I want to make it really easy for you. Just turning off my phone. It was actually the alarm for my supplements. So 3 p.m. alarm. And so it's actually very easy to flip your house from using toxic products like we know to non-toxic products. But a lot of people don't actually think about how they can incorporate essential oils into their cooking, because really there's essential oils in everything that we eat. So if you're eating fresh vegetables and fresh herbs now, you are actually getting essential oils into your body. Now, essential oils actually, they accumulate either on the leaves. So if you were to run your hand along, let's say like some rosemary, if you run your hand along that, you'll actually have the scent, the aroma of rosemary on your hand, won't you? That's because the sacs of essential oil are located in this particular plant on the leaves, on the outside of the needles of the rosemary. Something like a fruit, we actually take the skin of the fruit and we cold press it. So for that, you physically need to break it. And so the essential oil is located in sacs inside that plant. And then another one, for example, is laurel leaf, which is our free product of the month, yeah? So this month, today, it finishes on the 15th. So if you're not jumped in, jump in. So the laurel leaf is actually a bay leaf. So the oil sacs are located inside the laurel leaf. So again, you need to crack that open to release the essential oil. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is, so even if you've not cooked with essential oils before, if you've not gone into that area, hopefully after this workshop you'll have some courage to do that. But you have actually indirectly eaten essential oils. You've taken them internally because they're located naturally within the plant. So I've actually prepared quite a nice document for you. So I'm going to share that, and that'll be the basis of our discussion today. And you're lucky. There's quite a few recipes that I've added to, and they're my own personal recipes. So I hope you enjoy them. So let's share the screen. Let's pop it up here. Okay. Can we see that? Have we got the right screen? No, we've not. Let's swap this screen over. So the screen, bear with me, the screen we want is this one. Okay, so cooking with essential oils. I'm hoping that you can see that on your screen. And I'm going to move to the next page. So I've designed some healthy hacks for you to follow. So one of the main areas to start with is knowing where to start, yeah? So I talked about flipping my restaurants and flipping my house from using herbs. And the reason I did that was because you don't always know if the herbs are organic. You don't know where they're grown unless you're growing them yourself. You don't know the quality of the soil. And also I found too that, you know, one bunch, okay, I've got in here in this beautiful bowl, all these different herbs to show you soon, but You know, here's a bunch of mint. Smells amazing, but I would never be able to use all that bunch. You know, in my restaurant, we probably go through about 30, 40 bunches like this a day. That's fair enough. But actually at home, you wouldn't actually go through that much. So it's actually quite a waste. And so I've prepared this guide here, which is a nice little starting point. So flavor guide for cooking with essential oils. I've broken this into 5 sections for you. So starting with citrus, spices, herbs, florals, and mints. So if we look at citrus, the common oils you'd be looking at is bergamot, grapefruit, lemon, lime, tangerine, wild orange. So these are some great ones to actually look to start with for cooking, a nice little entry point. And then some really good useful tips and how to use them. You can use them in beverages. You can like blend them up in fruit juices. You can put them into baked goods. Remember, if you're baking, you actually need to increase the number of essential oils, and I'll explain the reason why soon. You can add essential oils to your yogurt, to your dips, to your salsa, to your different zests. Now, also remember, a really important tip is we take the essential oil from the rind, the skin of the fruit. We don't take it from the juice. So if there's a recipe that you're wanting to substitute juice, we're actually looking at, in the recipes, when we use essential oil, we're looking at substituting the zest, not the actual juice. So just keep that in mind as well. So the flavor description for citrus is bright, sweet, tangy, and refreshing. We know that, don't we? We love our citrus oils. So at the moment, if you're only using your citrus oils for your water, great. But let's look at stretching it a little bit further. And let's look at going into adding some citrus to different drinks, possibly into your baked goods. I love putting citrus into my yogurt and into my various salsas. Moving down, I've been talking a lot today, losing my voice. I've got lemon. So next is spices. This is one area I use a lot. So black pepper, pink pepper, cassia, cinnamon, coriander, ginger, fennel. These are some great ones to start with. And useful tips for these would be enhancing the natural flavor of the food, just bringing out the natural flavors, the deeper flavors. I use spices a lot in my slow cooking. Put the crock pot or the slow cooker, depending where you are in the world, the slow cooker, on in the morning. And when you come home from work, the aroma is just beautiful, isn't it? Walk into the house and there's some really lovely smells. Great for cooking with vegetables. If you're a meat eater, then marinating your meats, making sweet and savory dishes as well. So hot, sharp, spicy, sweet and warm. So really all of the palette is covered here with different spices. I just love cooking with cardamom. Cardamom and cinnamon are 2 of my favorite to put in my oatmeal during winter time. Next is moving into fresh herbs. So common herbs to look at would be basil, cilantro, marjoram, oregano, depending where you are in the world, rosemary and thyme. Now, these are great for substituting out all of your dried herbs. I don't cook with dried herbs. I was cooking with fresh herbs, but now I've totally moved over to using only doTERRA oils. So this is the pack. I love this stack box. You can actually take the lid off here. It's all padded inside, and you can stack them up on top. Ooh, it smells good. So inside here, I have all of this. One sits in my kitchen, and I always say to my people in Nourish by Pete, all my nourishers, I say, you know, put your oils in lifestyle reach. Have your bathroom oils in the bathroom. Have your bed oils next to your bed, next to your Lumo diffuser or whichever diffuser you're using. And in the kitchen, put all of your kitchen oils. And Victoria was the one who got me started on this. And I remember watching one of her videos in oil camp quite a while ago. And she reached into her cupboard and pulled out her box of oils. And I was overwhelmed. I was so excited by the idea of having essential oils to cook with. So that really changed my world. So I have in here, I have ginger. So I use ginger. Can you see that? I use ginger a lot in juices. I use it in stir fries. But that, that just sits in there. Lime, I use lime a lot. Great for different sort of little sauces. I made a little relish to show you as well, if you can see that. So that's got some lime and some lemon inside, coriander and basil. I have here marjoram. It's great sleep oil, marjoram, but this is also really nice for slow cooking. And meat marinade, if you're into meat, turmeric, curcumin. This is fantastic. Anti-inflammatory. If you're on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook, or Maison de Tête de Corps is my cafe. I'll put a couple of links for you so you can have a look. We do a juice called turmeric wash. And this one, I add 1 drop into the juice, and wow, people really love it. It's one that we sell a lot of. It has a lot of carrot and some green things in there as well, green leaves. Oregano, this one sits in my bathroom as well as downstairs in the kitchen. Powerful polyphenol antioxidant, great for fighting viruses, but also amazing for cooking with. You want to be careful that you don't put too much oregano in though. And I'll talk about the dosage soon of how much you should actually put in and how you add it to your cooking, because you don't want to go through the whole process of doing a beautiful dish and then as you're pouring it in, oops, 2 drops slip in, and it really is overpowering. Lemongrass is one that we use in our household a lot. Living in Asia, we do a lot of stir fries. Melaleuca, we don't cook with that one. Lemongrass again. Cinnamon. So lovely cinnamon bark. This is just beautiful. I love the aroma of this so much. Some of my favorite oils, you know, cinnamon bark, cardamom, and pink pepper. I have them with me all the time. And I carry, this is my man bag, I refer to it as. In here, this is what I just add every day. It's different every day. I could do a video every day of just what's in Pete's bag, and just go through exactly what I'm doing based on my mood, based on my energy, based on life circumstances. And it's diffusing with my diffuser here now. But cinnamon, I just love. I have rosemary. Guys, have you tried diffusing rosemary and eucalyptus? This is the bomb. It's amazing. Dog hair. Amazing. So, oops, wrong camera. Rosemary here. Love rosemary. It reminds me of my grandma's house. My grandmother was the one who really got me started with cooking. She's Scottish heritage, and she owned the best bakery in town. And really from when I was 0 up to the age of 16, I was covered in flour in her bakery. So she had the most amazing garden too, and she would always win the local gardening awards. And so she, inspired me as well as my mum for cooking. So there's a lot of my grandmother's recipes that I use, as well as inspiration from her recipes over the years. I can remember her cooking over this wood-fired oven inside her house, and just the aromas on a Sunday lunch were amazing. And rosemary was definitely one of those aromas. Juniper berry, it's great for the urinary tract, but it's also amazing for beverages. Clary sage, zendocrine, fennel, beautiful. So fennel, I love this in all sorts of dishes like sauces and chutneys, also for marinades. Like basil, so you can see I use a lot. I virtually use, well, I have every oil, but I use a lot in cooking. So if you put these back in here, there's a few more in there. I think pink pepper is one that I use a lot, and I often go on about pink pepper. And I use pink pepper every day in my almond lattes. And so I love iced lattes during the season because it's so hot. But I would just add 1 drop of pink pepper at the end and just whip it through. So back to our document here. So this is herbs. And then we're going down to what the flavor description is. So the flavor description is really herbal, it's fresh, it's sharp, and it's warm. So I would use, if I'm cooking Vietnamese food, because I'm in Vietnam a lot, well, I live here, so I would actually use a lot of these herbs in my cooking just to spark the flavor a little bit more herbal, more sharp. Moving into florals, I actually don't use these so much in cooking, but geranium is beautiful in cocktails. So, like mocktails. So the flavor description is light, powdery, sweet. If you're looking for something that's floral for like some special occasion, a wedding, a birthday party, yeah, go for floral. Mint, peppermint, spearmint, very different in flavor spectrums and also different chemical constituents. So minty, cool, refreshing, and sweet. Moving to the next page, have you tried cooking with essential oils? That is the big question. So a lot of us start with a certain ailment in mind, whether it's sleep, whether it's digestion issues. And cooking is one area that a lot of people don't venture into. So I really want to spark your interest and pique your interest to have a look at whether you could phase out the fresh herbs. And I'll show you here, I'll just stop sharing for a moment. So just phase out the fresh herbs. So here I have beautiful mint. Yeah, it smells beautiful, but you would never use that much, would you? This one here is the cilantro. So cilantro is the leaves and coriander is the seeds. This one here is Vietnamese basil. Oh, it's yummy. So we use this one in pho. It's not pho, it's pho with an upward sound. So pho gar is the chicken, pho bo is the beef. So we use the Vietnamese basil a lot in fresh herbs. And I guess that's why I love Vietnam so much, is just the availability of fresh herbs and fresh produce. But still, there's a lot of products which come across the border from China which are not safe. And a lot of chemicals are also used in Vietnam because a lot of farmers are developing their skills, and if they can get a higher yield from the farm, then they will spray it, unfortunately. So I talked about using the pink pepper in coffee. So I actually am very privileged where I roast my own line of coffee in my cafe. I've got 8 different blends of coffee. And if you're going to convention, I'm taking a few kilos to Utah from Vietnam. This is one, so fire. Everything's hand-drawn. I base it on I Ching and the Bagua symbol. So this here, fire, is our beautiful blend from Costa Rica, Burundi, and Vietnam. Heaven makes you feel like heaven when you drink it. You see Taoist clouds and Taoist rainbows. So this one here is our signature blend in my cafe. It's our house blend, and this comes from Colombia, Sumatra, and Vietnam. Thunder is our very powerful Vietnamese coffee, and this one here is a lovely, lovely coffee. And there's a few more as well, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because adding essential oils to coffee is really a beautiful marriage. I talk about almond milk because I think that the smokiness of the pink pepper mixed with the richness of the almond milk, I don't take dairy at all, so with the almond milk is just a beautiful marriage, and I can't get past that each day. I really enjoy that. So also with tea, I buy these teas from Thailand. So this is organic sencha tea from Thailand. Now, instead of using tea, you can actually use straight up essential oil. So you could drop, this one is ginger. So instead of using ginger tea, this has no caffeine in it. It's just powdered ginger. But instead of this, if you're looking at the quality and wanting to understand the purity of the oils, if that's important for you, it is for me and the community that I'm feeding. So you can actually just drop into hot water the essential oil and you get a tea, an infusion. So lemongrass, yep, we've got lemongrass oil. We have ginger. This one is rosé, which is a popular tea in Thailand. And turmeric. We've got turmeric oil, don't we? So right at our fingertips, you can make quite easily, you could make your tea just from essential oils and boiling water. So let's reshare the screen again. I'll get the right screen. And so incorporating oils into your cooking, there's a couple of reasons why you'd want to do that. It enhances the flavor. It also provides your body with some really great health benefits, and it's convenient and it's safe. And we know that already because we use the oils in different parts of our lifestyle. So there's a lot of information that I've prepared here for you, but I'd really encourage you to start with oils that we're accustomed to eating already, like basil, thyme, lemon, and ginger. So these are 4 oils which it's like stepping into essential oils for the first time. What's our trio? It's peppermint, it's lavender, and it's lemon. So that's a safe entry point. So here, basil, thyme, lemon, and ginger, it's a really good starting point for people. Now, remember that not all oils you can actually take internally. So something like wintergreen, you can't take that internally. So it's really important to look at the bottom of the side of the bottle and actually look at the ingestion description and instructions on the bottle. So that's really important. So I'm not going to go through every single oil, obviously, but that's up to you to make sure that you're, and I've got a couple of slides on the next page which highlight which oils you can take internally and which oils you need to avoid. But do make sure if you're just venturing into using oils for the first time in cooking, make sure you're aware of which oils you can take internally safely. And we know the quality of doTERRA oils. They're tested and they're retested for consumption and for safety to take internally. So there's no fillers, there's no chemicals like many other companies. So they are perfectly safe, our doTERRA oils, to take internally if they are recommended to take internally on the bottle. So also remember too, our oils are very potent and they're concentrated. So don't, like I mentioned, pour into your cooking because you will damage your whole beautiful dish if too many drops come in. So I'll show you different ways in a moment how you can dilute the oil safely. So this document is in a link that you can print out. I've prepared this one for you. And there's some recipes towards the end. So which essential oils to start with? Here's a list here. Basil, a whole variety of dishes. Think Italian. Bergamot, great for teas. Think Earl Grey tea, great for mixing with honey. So spoonful of honey makes the medicine go down. Honey, 1 drop of bergamot, stir it through, drink it down. Cilantro is, again, remember, it's coriander, but cilantro is the leaves and the stems, and the other part is the seeds, which is the coriander. Cinnamon, great for baking, great for oatmeal. Ginger, all sorts of stomach-related things, but really great for dishes, like a variety of dishes like stir-fries and Indian dishes, and also for making tea. Lavender, think about desserts, think about different beverages. Peppermint is amazing for desserts and uplifting beverages. I make an allergy shot, which is really the trio kit of lavender, lemon, and lime. I combine it so it's just 1 drop, and I add that to freshly made pineapple. Like, got to be fresh, but it's incredible. And I call it allergy shot because it just releases all of your sinus. Thyme, great for any kind of slow cooking, I would say. Now, a lot of people think when you add essential oil to cooking, because it's a volatile gas, does it just evaporate? Are there any actual health properties, health benefits left? So I did a bit of research, and yes, there's a lot of research available there, and white papers and on online, and all sorts of different documents I found. So one that I thought was really interesting, there was a lab test conducted on thyme and oregano, and they both have kind of similar chemical constituents. Oregano, it's higher than thyme in higher levels of percentage. But what they did, they made some pasta, rolled the pasta through the roller, and then 1 sample was baked and 1 sample was boiled. Now, the sample that was boiled actually still contained 72% of the health benefits of the original chemical constituent. And then as opposed to, which is still pretty good, like the sample of baking, which still had 56% chemical constituents still remaining after it's been baked. So yes, the answer is, even after cooking, you're still getting the health benefits of essential oils. So please start adding them to your cooking. If not for the flavor, definitely for the health benefits. So best practices, I've just listed a few things here for you. Essential oils and cooking with heat. So you can use essential oils for baking with, steaming, simmering, boiling. If you are baking, steaming, simmering, or boiling using essential oils, you need to use a larger amount than normal. Now, you also need to do trial by error. And this is what I found. There's no documentation anywhere that I can see, even through my nutrition certification course, that gives you exact amounts and ratios substituting basil leaf for basil oil. So when you add strong essential oils like oregano or basil, these are the potent oils, it could be more beneficial to actually add it during the cooking and let it evaporate through the steam distillation, okay? This will provide a dish which is milder and a little bit more pleasant to the taste. And also never, 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 the last point there is really important, never use plastic. So it's always, and the reason you don't use plastic is because one, the oil is quite potent and it could and probably would leach into the plastic, and then it releases the chemical inside the plastic. So then you're getting toxins into your food. So always glass and or stainless steel. Next page is knowing how much essential oil to add. This is vital so that you don't destroy your cooking. So I always start with the toothpick method, and I hope that you can see this font here. I took this graphic from doTERRA. So starting with the toothpick method is that you take the bottle, you take the top off, and then you just dip the toothpick inside and you swirl the toothpick in the dish just to pick up the flavor, and then you taste it, okay? And then if you find that it has enough flavor, then leave it there. The next version is 1 drop. I would never recommend dropping straight in. I would always drop it onto a spoon and then swirl it through. The last way is if you need several drops, definitely onto a teaspoon as well and swirl it through. Moving along, the next list of oils are very potent. So cassia, cinnamon, clove, cumin, thyme, and oregano. These oils are very potent, and a little bit goes a very long way. Again, don't destroy your dish. So use this technique here with these potent oils. Definitely start with the toothpick method. These oils here are great for experimenting with. All of these are perfectly safe if they're doTERRA oils, perfectly safe to use in your cooking. The last ones are a list of oils that you can never cook with. Okay, they're not recommended for internal use. Moving over, the second part of my, my talk, I wanted to talk about superfoods, and I call them superhero foods. And they're a huge part of my life. What I do every morning is I make up a super smoothie. And if you're on my Facebook page, Nourished by Pete, I quite often post up something about my super morning smoothies. And I use as the base almond milk or quinoa milk. I make it myself. It's very easy to make. And then I always use doTERRA's green. And I take 1 scoop, add that in, and then every day I shake it up with different types of superfoods. And in case some superfoods is new for you as well. So superfoods, I've just put an explanation here, and I'll just read through it for you. So they're really a class of potent, super concentrated, nutrient-rich foods. And there's a list of 10 that I've documented here for you, which I call the top 10 superfoods. And think about introducing 1 or 2 into your routine. You could use them for cooking with. You could sprinkle them onto your yogurt at nighttime to enhance the nutrient-rich flavors and benefits for your body. I choose to use them every morning in my super smoothie. So they're tremendously valuable for increasing your vitality. I put in here vital force and energy in your body. So if you're looking to do something right for your immune system, if you need to do some cleansing or lowering inflammation in your body or alkalizing your body, look at some superfoods. And so I've listed them here. I won't go through all the details, but cacao is raw chocolate. So cacao nibs is hugely popular at the moment. There's no sugar. This is why This one is fantastic. There's also cacao nibs are also very high in antioxidants. Goji berries, fantastic for the eyes, vitamin B, vitamin E. Maca, there's all sorts of different maca powders. You can get black maca, brown maca, white maca. It comes from the Peruvian Andes. They've been using it for a very, very long time. I like to use the dried black maca, and it has all of the amino acids, and it also has the 7 essential amino acids as well. So this is very rare in food. And it's the only superfood that I know of that has the full string of amino acids. So I add that every day to my super smoothie, and I find it gives me a nice boost of endurance, and I use it definitely before going to the gym. Hemp, love hemp. I use hemp seeds, cracked hemp seeds every morning. It's perfect food for kids that are growing. It's protein, think protein. Spirulina, bright green, 65% protein, great amino acids. Spirulina is also much higher in chlorophyll than other products, great for the immune system. Bee products like bee pollen, have a look at that area too, high in vitamin Bs, folates. It has the full string of 21 essential amino acids. Camu berry is huge in smoothie bowls. We do it in Maison. Different types of sea vegetables, seaweeds like kelp, nori, hijiki, chlorella. So chlorella, I use chlorella powder a lot in my super smoothies in the morning. And this is great for detoxing the body, great for iodine levels as well. Medicinal mushrooms, make sure they're the right mushrooms, guys. So I love chaga, I love reishi. Shiitake mushrooms I'm not so fond of. Lion's mane is amazing. All of these are really quite incredible, super immune enhancing superfoods. So great for cleansing. So chaga, if you've never heard of chaga, so the way I use this, it's like a dried mushroom. You can buy it on Amazon or any good, let me see, little, thanks for your patience. A few technical difficulties here today. So we were talking about chaga mushroom. So chaga, I just absolutely adore. And it's a dried mushroom. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from any really nice kind of health food store. It's dried. It's more like a fungus. You know, mushrooms are fungus, but it looks more like a fungus than a mushroom. And so the way I use it is I put it into the crock pot, and I will cook it overnight for at least 10 hours. And then I let it cool down. I take out the mushroom, and then I use that as I put it into the fridge, and I use that as the stock for my super smoothies in the morning. And it's just, you know, it's sublime. It's amazing cleansing properties. So let's share the screen again and come back to that document, which is this one here. So we were talking about number 9 before we rudely got cut off. And hopefully you didn't hear me swear. It's very, very rare that I swear. So reishi, chaga, maitake, shiitake, I'm not so fond of, like I mentioned, and lion's mane. So these are super immune enhancing components, medicinal mushrooms, and some of the most intelligent herbs, superfoods on the planet. So a lot of people say that they're incredible for healing cancer. Great cleansing, great detox. So work them into your superfood list. And the last one is additional powerful superfoods and supplements. So here's a list here. MSM, you know, this very special oil that is great for brain cognitivity. Digestive and metabolic enzymes. We have a fantastic metabolic enzyme in doTERRA, in TerraZyme. So if you've not looked at that, definitely do. So it has 10 essential enzymes. They're bioavailable, which means that your body knows exactly what to do with the product once you swallow it. And it's got 10 different enzymes which help you to break down things like protein, lactose, fruit fiber, things that your body has trouble breaking down naturally. Next, mangosteen. I love mangosteen. Marine plankton, all sorts of things here. So this is another list of additional superfoods that you should look at. So moving right along. So today is about essential oils, cooking with essential oils, and hoping to open up your mind a little bit to essential oils. I prepared a few things that I love to cook with essential oils. So this one here is my turmeric hummus. Look at the color. You can guess what I use. Yeah, turmeric oil. So I use turmeric oil for this one. The base is chickpea. So this is vegan. I make this one here, a new recipe, which I love. I love hummus so much, but I wanted to find a local product to substitute for the chickpea. So I used lotus seed. And if you're in Asia, you know, this time of year during summer, they're plentiful. So this is it here. So I use the lotus seed, sesame seeds, olive oil, and then I pass through here some lemon and lime juice as well. It's really delicious. And I make a date compote. So I boil up dates with a little bit of coconut sugar and date syrup. Then I mix in some fennel, and that becomes a date compote, and I mix it through the lotus seed hummus. I was quite proud of myself for making that one. This is my homemade chutney. So this has got lots of tomato, fennel. I use in here fennel oil, basil oil, and cilantro oil. Over here is my couscous recipe. So couscous, it's got flax seeds, almonds, carrots, leek, celery, and then I mix through here usually some cilantro oil, and then I also mix through some fennel oil. Delicious. These are just some samples. This is my, I've got a recipe in a moment for you on smashed green peas and avocado. This one here is my fennel sourdough bread. So I shouldn't use my fingers, should I? So this is it here. So I've got chunks of fennel inside it that you can see, maybe on this side. You can see, and then I mix through fennel essential oil. So this is sourdough bread. We make up the sourdough starter, and then we let it ferments for 24 hours, and then we bake the bread in our restaurant. So the idea of my restaurant is that everything is handmade, non-industrial. It's really important. So next, we have this one here, sauerkraut. So beautiful, beautiful sauerkraut. Inside here, I use lemon oil. I change it up quite a lot. So because it's a vinegar base, it really helps. It's a lipid, and it really helps to hold and suspend the essential oils in there. So all sorts of citrus oils I like to work in here. I don't usually go for the spices so much, but definitely I go for citrus oils. Love this dish. This one is my gluten-free avocado bread. So this has got avocado and pumpkin inside, and I mix through all sorts of essential oils into this. There's a recipe coming up for you, so you'll see it in a moment, and it's got all sorts of essential oils, so you can change it up. I usually work towards more the spice range of essential oils, and this one is my, I'll just hold it here, my jam. My jam today is pineapple and mango, and it looks lovely. No sugar in this jam. We just use the pectin from the fruit. And then, of course, we always cook with some beautiful, beautiful produce. So sometimes you just can't beat the real product. So make sure it's organic. Make sure it's really good quality. I always love to have really good ceramic bowls too. It's very earthy, very organic. So, you ready for some recipes? Let's have a look. So, I've prepared these for you. So this is my gluten-free Persian almond and orange cake. So this is the first recipe. I'm not going to go through the whole recipe for you. It's very self-explanatory, but these are some nice little bonuses for you to thank you for watching my recording. The next dish here, I just adore these energy bites. So great for kids when they come home from school, great for after gym workout or before gym workout. This is my fennel black pepper almond butter energy bites. They're delicious and super easy, gluten-free and non-bake. You can whip these up in about 30 minutes. Next is the reason why I didn't do the call yesterday, because of the black bean and beetroot exploding out of the blender and deciding to go all over me and christen me. So this is such a beautiful dish. Really would like to inspire you to have a look at this one. It's a super easy one to make. And I actually layer it up here with the lotus seed hummus. So next is a vegan Vietnamese dipping sauce. A lot of my dishes, I always tend to go for vegan or vegetarian. Very clean, non-processed, non-industrial food. Most of the produce in my restaurants come from my farm or the organic produce. And then the last one I have for you is smashed green peas and avocado toast. And you can have the egg or not. You can have the goat's cheese or Persian feta if you want to. You can shake it up however you want. But I love this dish so much. And I put in here, the oils I use is lemon oil. And I put a little bit of peppermint through as well. I really love this combination. So there we have it. So I'm hoping this today, I'll just stop sharing the screen. I'm really hoping today you picked up a lot of great information and the great tips. I'm going to link up the recipes and the guide that I prepared for you. Just, step outside of your comfort zone in the kitchen. It's quite often we all have very full schedules and we always revert back to the same dishes that we always like to cook. So I would recommend branching out a little bit further. Batch cooking is also a really good way to go as well. So that means maybe preparing on a Sunday night and cooking for 2 or 3 days. That way also you're not throwing food away. And cook food that you can batch, but also change. On the second day, you could add something else to it to actually create a whole different dish from the base batch that you've prepared. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, certainly leave me a message below. Jump onto Nourished by Pete on Facebook or nourishedbypete.com. And I am going to see you at convention if you're there. If you're in Hanoi, then I will see you in my cafe. And lovely. I really enjoyed today. Sorry about the hiccups with technology, but it's Asia. That's what happens. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Have fun in the kitchen.